Hi, Linda.
Hi, Teresa.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah, so good to see you too. So nice.
Yeah, so I wanted to welcome you to just come on this call with me so that I could thank you for being a silver sponsor for the Eating Disorder IFS conference that's coming up. And you are the first person to, outside of like a treatment center, to want to sponsor this or to say, hey, I'd like to sponsor. So I'm just so grateful for you and your enthusiasm and willingness to do this. And so I thought maybe what you could do first is just introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your practice and then maybe why you wanted to support the conference.
Okay, so um, my name is Linda Watts. Okay, I am located in New York and New Jersey, and I have been a therapist for 30 years. I'm a licensed social worker. I'm also work with eating disorders and substance abuse. So I'm a CASAC. I did have a practice in New York City. I had an office there for many, many years. And now since the pandemic, I'm doing mostly virtual work. And I'm also working in New Jersey as well. And my passion is just working with people who are suffering from eating disorders and addiction. Both of them, it's a passion that I have personally,
Mhm.
my own personal background. And why did I want to sponsor? I did not know that I was the first therapist. Okay. So, oh, wow. Thank you for that. And when I saw it, I looked at it and I said, hmm, this is something that I think I want to do. And I even discussed it with my husband. I said that Teresa was sort of this conference, and I want to be able to support it. And I knew that the background was that there wasn't a lot of people in your area.
Yeah.
And it just felt right to me. It felt like I needed to be part of this to help spread the word about healing people who are suffering with eating disorders, okay? And have more therapists, because there are many therapists that'll say, oh no, I don't want to treat that. That's too hard,
Yeah.
okay? And
Mhm.
really educating them and having more people come in and help.
Yeah.
That's kind of why, and I really appreciate that you're doing this too.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I can't even tell you how appreciative I am. And can you talk a little bit about the influence on IFS in your work?
Oh, IFS. Okay. Now you're going to hear my real passion. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Because
Yeah.
I've been around in many, many spiritual practices and therapies and all kinds of things looking for years and going in and saying, oh, yeah, well, this is it. And then say, no, 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 it isn't. And it's been my journey both personally and professionally. And when I started to work with IFS, I felt like I landed home. Okay. And why I feel that way is because it really got to my core personally, to the reason, to the thing, to the little one who
Mhm.
was suffering, to the teenager who needed help. And I really got to know her, and I didn't know that she was there
Mm.
because other therapies were kind of taking me away from that. So the healing that I've experienced and also seeing my clients, it's just amazing to me. And I thank Dick in my head all the time for starting this amazing, amazing therapy.
Yeah.
Also, the spiritual, if that's okay for me to say,
Sure.
the
Of course.
spiritual component to it, which I really believe that, therapy works just so far because it's really about connection.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's kind of what a lot of what I've done over the years I haven't gotten that.
Mhm.
This gets there. So that's kind of what it is. And I have a very strong passion. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for sharing that. And I often, even though, I've been doing IFS for, oh gosh, over 20 years. Every once in a while I'll like do the session. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this model, and thank you, Dick, for creating such a healing model. Yeah.
Yeah. I was at a conference many, many years ago in New York at the Open Center. It was, and Dick was, I went because I wanted to hear him. I never met him before. And I was sitting there like a, like a teenager seeing a concert, right?
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just kept, oh, and I'll never forget, I walked over to him. I didn't even know me from, and I said, can I give you a hug because you saved my life? And I'll never forget that. And he looked at me and he goes, of course. And he gives me a hug. And I went, and when I walked away from him, I said, oh, what did I do? Okay. But he was so loving. And that's the model, and meeting people like you. And it's amazing to me. It just is. So I have a passion. Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah. We both do. We both do. So
I know.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for taking a few minutes to jump on and sharing your passion. And I look forward to the conference in a couple weeks. And
Me,
thank you again for your support. Really appreciate it.
my pleasure with love.
All
Okay.
right. Good
Thank you.
night.
Good night.